Welcome back, everyone. Mix 1041. We're on mixtv.tv. Jay and Brittany Hagee. It is Allon Planning Partners. Hey, guys.
Hey, Steve.
Hello.
How are you?
Now, listen, I know your last interview was, as you told me, Brittany, was professional. And then they brought me in.
Yes, that's right.
So, we got the JV team. We're okay with that.
Hey, you know what? I was warming up this whole. I've been in the bullpen, just anyway. My rotator cuff's a little sore.
Yeah.
But guys, look, it's so important because we're coming to the end of 1 year. My goodness, 2025 is right around the corner.
My word, man. Can you believe? I mean, it's the end of December here. I mean, it's crazy how fast time flies. Mm-hmm. And so we are always looking ahead and asking our clients to look ahead. And anyone on the airwaves out here that's listening today, we're asking you to look ahead into 2025 because you have to take the time to plan.
Planning is in your name. It
really is.
Planning is in your name.
And so partners is in our name too, and that's why we help with. We actually want to partner with people to help them plan so that they don't have to feel left behind or left out, or that they miss the boat in the risk tolerances we talked about last time, as far as, man, I lost a lot of money in my portfolio. I wish somebody would have helped me with that before I got to this point and knew how much risk I was taking, right?
Yeah, and a big part of it, us at Allon Planning Partners, what our goal to do is to help you make more of what you have so that you're not looking back and saying, man, if I only knew at that point, I would have done this different, right? We want to help you be proactive so that you can look back and say, man, I'm so glad I made those choices.
That's right.
Man, I'm so glad I made those adjustments. I am so glad I took that hour to sit down for that consultation to begin the process of planning. That is what we want to really bring to front of mind today.
Yeah, and we started a list with Bridget last time when we were talking with her about things you want to be checking off your to-do list before you get into 25, and so we're going to give you a few of those today we didn't get to last time.
Please do. So, as we think about 2025, what comes to mind? What are some of those checklist items?
Yeah, well, one of them is we're wrapping up the year is charitable contributions. I know that's something that part of your heartbeat, part of our heartbeat. I know you guys just wrapped up the Empty Stocking Fund, that big biggest event of the year. So you guys
thank you for Allon Planning Partners, what you guys did.
We loved it.
Been a part of it for years.
To be a part of that. Yeah, happy to be a part of that. But for those of you that are listening and have not looked at that or taken a look at, there's so many benefits. Obviously, a core value of not just our family, but us at Allon Planning Partners is generosity and giving out of what we have to enhance and bless the lives of others. So there are, the desire to do that, but then also there are financial benefits. You're looking at the tax implications of all of that. And so this is a time before year's end where you can make those contributions if you haven't. Specifically, I just want to hit really quickly, those of you who have to take required minimum distributions or RMDs from your IRAs or 401ks, if you are at that age to take RMDs, a lot of folks may not need those funds and they think, man, I have to take distributions, but I don't really want to. You can do what's called a QCD, or Qualified Charitable Distribution, which means you can take the distribution but have it sent direct from the institution holding the funds to the charitable organization, which means you don't have the tax liability, and huge benefit, neither do they, because they're a charitable organization. So there are tax strategies and benefits like that you can do with combining your charitable contributions and the tax planning as well.
Wow.
That's right.
Which is kind of
I had no idea. Wow.
Yeah, and that's kind of the next thing we want to talk about.
Planning.
Now's the time to talk about tax planning, because you don't want to wait until April and look back and say, man, I wish I would have known this. I wish I would have been starting in January. You need to look at a good tax plan. And so maybe right now at the end of the year will be a good time for tax loss harvesting, which means that some of your accounts may have went up, some of the funds that you have may have went down. How do we look at those non-qualified accounts or just like brokerage accounts and say, how do we make sure capital gains aren't going to get out of control for you? So December's the time we look at that going into January.
Yeah, and don't let all that,
it's a lot of financial
tax
jargon.
loss. I don't let all of that scare you or think, I don't have a clue what they're talking about. The bottom line is there are ways to minimize your taxable liability that are completely within the law, right? Obviously, it's about planning and strategizing different types of accounts and when and how you take distributions, when and how you make investment adjustments. Those types of things can
And
make
if
a
you
big
don't
difference
plan
in
and
your
you don't
tax
let
bill.
someone like us help you plan, Uncle Sam will help you plan.
He will.
He's not, you're going to
Not
have a
as
helper.
friendly.
He's going to be the one to help you, and it's going to be in a tax bill in April. So that's what we would want to say
So
too.
exchange your tax bill.
That is exactly right.
Yeah.
We've actually created a website where if you have qualified plans, IRAs, 401ks, things like that, we've created a calculator to kind of give you a heads up to say, how much do I have to pay Uncle Sam right now? And what are ways that I cannot pay Uncle Sam as much?
Wow.
And that website is exchangemytaxbill.com. So if you just go to exchangemytaxbill.com, we kind of played it off of our Allon Exchange radio show that we
That's
do every
right.
week. So we want to help you exchange your high tax bill for a lower
That's
tax
right.
bill.
I
So
like that.
exchangemytaxbill.com, put in a few basic pieces of information. It takes about 3 minutes, and it'll spit you out some ideas and help that can get you paying a lower tax bill, hopefully, in the future.
That is brilliant, but it all comes back to planning.
That's right.
And you talked about, Brittany, the takes 60 minutes to sit down with you, and all of a sudden people have an idea, and that's free of charge.
That's
you
right.
guys don't charge a thing.
We don't.
No, there's no charge, there's no obligation, because here's the deal. We work as a team to try and get something to those folks we sit down with. We're not trying to what can we get from them? How can we, pull from them or get their assets or whatever. Our goal is to get something to you. That is our motivation, to put you in a better position after meeting with us than you were before.
Yeah.
That's the heart, that's the goal behind
And we have a
what we're
flat
doing.
fee structure. We're in the same boat as you. So if you decide to come on and utilize our services, there's no hidden cost. We're not going to be like, oh, surprise, or we're not trying to sell you some commission-based product. We're trying to put a fiduciary plan together for you so that
Right.
you understand how you're going to pay less taxes in retirement, how your portfolio needs to be adjusted through retirement, and just how you can put a plan together to better your financial situation. So that's what we would
Which
offer.
kind of leads into the last piece I want to throw into today's segment, as we're talking about preparing for the next year and what we need to do at year end. We talked before about assessing what 2024 held and how we spent, how we saved. Now it's time to look ahead. We looked behind, we made some tweaks, now let's look ahead. What are some financial goals that you have? Set some goals. Don't just have it,
Set clear
in your
goals.
mind. Write it down. Here are some goals. I want to be debt free. I want to pay off my house in 5 years. I want to go into retirement debt free. I want to pay off my school, whatever it is, right? Whatever that specific goal for you is, write it down and make it plain. And then when we sit down together, our target is to help you reach your target.
That's right.
So if you can clearly identify, here's where I'm headed, then we can clearly chart a course to help you get there, right? That's the goal.
So, Steve, don't get to the end of this year without sitting down and creating those goals. Make
Yeah.
that list, man.
It's a lot more than New Year's resolutions.
Yeah,
I guarantee
it's
you
not that. Yeah.
It's Allon Planning Partners, Jay and Brittany Hagee, our longtime friends. How do people reach out to you?
You can reach out to us directly, 423-315-1441. Of course, you can always check out our website. You can schedule your complimentary consultation directly from there. It's allonplanning.com, ALLON planning.com. The website has information about upcoming events and workshops. We hold all kinds of educational events here in Cleveland and throughout the Chattanooga and Northwest Georgia regions as well. And then you can learn more about who we are, what we do, the services we offer, the kind of comprehensive plans we put together. All that information is on our website. So again, allonplanning.com.
And Jay, what's the new website again?
ExchangeMyTaxBill.com. If you go to ExchangeMyTaxBill.com, I promise you're going to find some great information there.
My friends, Jay and Brittany Hagee. It's Allon Planning Partners, and we'll come right back in a moment.
Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Foundations only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. No legal or tax advice is provided. Always consult with